300. I'm like, why 300? We can get it for this price and sell it cheaper. All right, but without going off on a long tangent, we have other things as well that are in the news outside of Japan in terms of natural disasters. Graphic number 53, tsunami of sand tortures Kuwait. A menacing black dust storm hit the country at a speed of over 50 kilometers per hour Friday evening, plunging the country into complete darkness before sunset. But some of you didn't hear about this story. The storm reduced visibility to almost zero in some areas of the country and disrupted mobile phone services for almost 30 minutes as panicked citizens and residents tried to call to check on the safety of their loved ones. And we also see here there was a strong quake on the border of Thailand and Myanmar, also known as Burma, and that has killed more than 70 people. Let's take some phone calls tonight. 503-288-4442. 503-288-4442. I also want to let everybody know you can contact me over at Alex_Ansary at hotmail.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this dehydrator. Talk about some of the purposes and uses of a dehydrator.
Yeah, dehydrator's great. And if you do some information on one, you can find that if you don't have or can't get a dehydrator for whatever reasons, if it's funds or anything, you can use an oven. It just doesn't work as well for some stuff. But dehydrators are awesome for anything from jerky to just doing berries. You can make fruit leather. You can dehydrate, all sorts of stuff.
There is no excuse.
Exactly.
I have no regular income coming in whatsoever, and I obtained this today for a whopping $25 off Craigslist. It does work. These run about $50 new. So there's a lot of things if you're willing to use your brain. We're not being insulting here, we're being practical. If you're willing to spend a few moments and take some deep breaths, step away from the TV, think, grab a pencil, paper, and grab a pen, and start creating a wish list of the items that you want to obtain. Okay?
Exactly.
You want to get some rice, you want to get some beans, you want to get some seeds, you want to get a dehydrator. You may not think you can't afford it today. It may present itself if you ask the universe for it to manifest in your life. I've manifested many things that I have asked for up here to see them appear and not very long afterwards, and that's very interesting. But it's even more reinforcement that we have to think about those things, visualize those things that we want to bring into our lives. Of course, realities as well, especially when we look at how we relate to this crazy world, this new world order that we're moving in.
Yeah.
We have to be in charge of our own destiny.
Yeah, and people need to get back to cooking their own food, preparing their own food. You'll pay $10 probably for a pound of dehydrated fruit, and you could buy a pound.
You can dehydrate your leaves.
Yeah, you can do anything.
The stuff from your garden.
You can do herbs.
Jerky.
You can do.
I'm looking forward to pears.
Yeah.
And of course, you can get some stuff from the supermarket when pears and apples are on sale and dehydrate them in here.
Exactly.
So I've never dehydrated yet, but we will be doing it this week.
It's definitely a good tool.
We also got a vacuum sealer, and that'll go great with this.
Yeah.
And soon we will have a canner as well as a pressure cooker. So again, look online, look for the best deals, go on Craigslist, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. There's actually a lot of stuff that's sitting in basements right there in Portland, Oregon for that matter, that is not being used whatsoever. So, on the 8-year anniversary of the invasion and plundering the Shekinah, which of course is a Babylonian god or goddess. It's just Shekinah, it's just the words that they use. It's just the demons they're conjuring. Anyway, a lot of strange things involving Iraq and Afghanistan and why they're really there outside of plundering for oil, resources, lithium, of course, sex slaves. Lots of reasons why the United States and the coalition forces are gang raping Afghanistan and Iraq. So now they've moved into Libya, and I guess it also came out they were planning to invade Libya when they were planning to invade Iraq. Way back when, a couple of years ago. I believe this was Wesley Clark, I believe, talked about this in the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's the whole region they want, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now it's come out that U.S. NATO bombed civilian targets in Libya, and we saw this take place on the 19th of March. In fact, I was eating lunch at the Fish House on Hawthorne on 44th, looked up at the monitor, and there it was, United States bombing Libya, back to the Stone Age. Western warplanes are bombing civilian targets in the Libyan capital. A U.S. warship has fired over 150. Of course, that number keeps growing.
Rising, yeah.
We have no way to verify if this is accurate. At Gaddafi's air defense sites. The U.S. operation is codenamed Odyssey Dawn. Again, the names behind these Operation Iraqi.
Operation Iraqi Liberation is oil. That's what it was for the first day, and they even did that in the LA Times before they realized
these crises, these revolutions, much of them manufactured by the West, by the CIA, these CIA coups, to give the excuse, oh, this is why oil is going up, when we can already see what was going to happen to oil. Yeah. Lindsey Williams has been accurate many, many times, and he called it before the oil started going up. Now it's sitting at $3.67 at some gas stations in Portland, $3.77 at others. It's well over $4 in California. We'll see where this is going to go, but it's only going up from this point on.
Almost Pentagon, double that in London.
London?
It's definitely, gold prices are, for
Pentagon
sure.
to target populated urban areas in Libya, graphic 58. The Associated Press is reporting the Pentagon will conduct missions in Libya's urban areas, even as other nations begin taking a larger role in the international air assault mission in Libya. The Pentagon is considering adding Air Force gunships and other attack aircraft that are better suited for tangling with Libyan ground forces in contested urban areas. And we have this one. U.S. rescue choppers shoot 6 Libyan villagers as they welcome pilots of downed Air Force jet. 6 Libyan villagers are recovering in a hospital after being shot by American soldiers coming in to rescue the U.S. pilots whose plane crash-landed in a field. The helicopter, Force F-15E Eagle, which ran in a troubled area during a bombing raid last night, landed in a field, and a handful of locals who had come to greet the pilots were hit, among them a young boy who may have to have his leg amputated because of injuries caused by a bullet wound.
Yeah.
And his father said, though, despite the fact that his son is losing a leg, he's still happy that the U.S. is there.
Yeah, it's insanity how people just turn a blind eye to the facts right in front of them, even when it's your own family. I mean,
this gets even deeper with some of the other reports, but we have a phone call on the line, so we won't make them wait, and we will take all the other phone calls promptly and quickly as they come in. And we actually have approximately 20 minutes left, so make that call fast. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, hello. I wanted to talk about Japan. I honestly believe that HAARP, I don't know if you know anything about HAARP, H-A-A-R-P.
Yeah, of course we know about HAARP, but go ahead.
I really believe that HAARP has something to do with this earthquake and tsunami that happened to Japan. And I believe that they manipulated the earthquake in Chile and Haiti. I honestly believe that they manipulated the hurricane in Katrina.
Katrina, it came in at a 90-degree angle. There were people, there were scientists. After what took place in Katrina in New Orleans, it said, that's our technology. We developed that. And then there's many, even the History Channel has many documentaries on the weather modification technology that's been jointly shared between the United States and Russia. So even though we had a Cold War with Russia, we shared this technology the whole time. And China is very advanced in their knowledge and use of this technology. Now, do we know whether HAARP caused this or not? There are clearly things that are continuing to happen that are natural. They're outside of man's control because we see that the governments of the world are concerned and moving underground because they see something coming that's greater than their power. But do they flip on HAARP when we have solar flares to magnify the destruction? I think it's highly likely. Especially with Haiti, because we saw massive solar activity taking place during that point in time, but we also saw, there's certain websites that track HAARP when it's flipped on, the ionosphere is heated, and we saw that at that time. Chile, it knocked the Earth off its axis by 1 inch. They're saying Japan, it was knocked off its axis by 10 inches.
Yeah, and in when the Chile one happened, it literally made every day, the day is no longer 24 hours. It's like a millisecond shorter than 24 hours after that because of the axis being tilted by 1 inch. And so 10 inches, now what's it going to be? And eventually, I mean.
Well, they have mirrors and stuff in place that can manipulate the sun, the activity of the sunspots. They can direct it towards certain areas.
Yeah, I've seen some of their geoengineering stuff where they literally had plans to shoot missiles out that would explode, and it would send into orbit covering a wide range of area, a bunch of glass things that would either
particles to reflect the rays of the sun. We're reflecting rays of the sun now. I mean, it makes so. If anyone's new to this that's listening, just simply Google geoengineering of the Earth, and tons of documented mainstream information is going to come out that did not exist 2 years ago. There's also another film called What in the Hell Are They Spraying, which is also very well documented.
And I would suggest people learn more about HAARP. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And HAARP is based in Alaska, and there are other HAARP-like facilities all across the world. China has them as well. We're going to go ahead to the next call. One thing to add to that, when the spiral was seen in Norway, when Obama went to visit the Peace Prize, I think, acceptance for bombing so many innocent women and shore in Afghanistan as a Peace Prize. Oh, definitely. Great, Master, bring forth the destruction. You're such a peaceful man. Without getting into all that and the Obama-Bush split personality, the same being in two different bodies, without getting into all that, we can simply see, though, that there's a lot we don't see. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot of unknown knowns. Yes. There's a lot of things going on this great planet we call Earth.
As Socrates said, one of the best quotes of all time, you know, knowledge or wisdom is knowing how little we actually know.
All right.
And so, I mean, we got to realize that there's a lot of stuff out there.
We will possibly be able to get to the rest of this news, but we will be moving fast. Let's go ahead and take the next phone call, Bill. Hello, caller.
Okay, hi, this is Peter.
Hey, Peter.
God has told me, I think, the main underlying cause of trouble in 2012 and beginning right now.
I'm sorry, Peter, go ahead.
Have you got a good, can you hear me well?
Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
Okay, the main cause of trouble for the whole thing. There's a very valid theory that in the center of the universe there's dark energy and dark matter that's causing the universe to expand at an increasing rate rather than just to expand. Now, the energy is a complete mystery and unknown. It's not light or any kind of energy that's understood. So it's all theory, but I think God's telling me that it's true, and furthermore, that dark energy comes from the center of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that, you see, during galactic alignment, the dark energy will be that would normally reach the Earth, will be interfered with by the sun. So
these are certainly exciting times to be alive. We can't expect more natural disasters outside of HAARP to take place, but we do see this coexistence between the two factors. Peter, I want to thank you for your call, and I also want to invite some others to also join the conversation, and with that, we're going to continue moving forward with the information on Libya. Yeah, again, before, as we go into the rest, you see how this stuff's happening at the same time? You see, okay, more information coming out about magnetic north moving, okay, the magnetic field fluctuating, the situation in Japan, as well as much information coming out about HAARP. It's even reached True TV with Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory show. And it's even hit the world of entertainment with this wrestling figure coming to give you conspiracy facts. I take Ventura's information and his show with a grain of salt. There's a lot of good stuff in the show. There's also some stuff that needs to be researched a little bit further before it gets put on TV. I wonder if sometimes that's deliberate to kind of discredit. But without going too deep into that, it's important to keep things in context and be aware. Why are they admitting these things on mainstream media networks? It's because they believe, I feel, it's okay to give a little bit of information about what's going on. They're not explaining the whole enchilada, which is also why I think there's a lot of people out there that are alive talking about these what are perceived to be conspiracy theories, because we don't all have the whole picture. I mean, we're seeing puzzle pieces and we're connecting them. But once we in our own minds complete the puzzle, we realize we just simply created or brought into being one puzzle piece, which is a part of a larger puzzle. And so none of us have the whole thing figured out as to what's really going on. That's why whatever system of darkness is operating above government, being man or non-human, you should look at the possibility of what's really going on outside of the box of whatever ideology you've been brought up to believe, whether it be through this box, your peers, your parents, or whatever religious institution you subscribe to. There is something very strange taking place on Earth right now. And so the way that I choose to walk through life is to live without regrets. I have no fear of radiation or particles coming into